Everybody, this is Cuba Gooding Jr. saying, welcome to the Graham Norton Show!
So lovely. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, one. Thank you all. Hello. And welcome to the show. I tell you, we've got some great guests on tonight. We will be chattering away like killer whales that have just been out to speak. Did you see that? Odd story, yeah. Wiki, the killer whale, lives in one of those marine parks, and they've taught her to speak through the hole in the top of her head. This is news. Yeah. Wiki can just say simple things at the moment, like hello, goodbye, and for the love of God, please release me back into the wild. On the subject of blubbery creatures talking through their blowhole, Donald Trump gave his State of the Union speech this week. Yeah. All that whale talk, that was just so I could say that. Now, his speech lasted 1 hour and 20 minutes, which seems quite a long time just to say, we're screwed. Melania was at the speech. She looked amazing. Oh, tell you, pop a pointy white hat on that. That'll be Donald's favourite outfit. I'm no fashion expert. Meanwhile, this week, Theresa May has been visiting China. Oh, she's so lucky. Now, that's her with the Chinese president. Apparently, he asked Theresa 2 questions. What's your name? And how long will you be Prime Minister? And oddly, the answer to both those questions was May. That's clever, that. Clever. Let's get some guests on! Singer-songwriter George Ezra. Yeah. But first, the 7-time Grammy Award winner and founding member of the Black Eyed Peas, a musician, entrepreneur, producer, and now author. Please welcome will.i.am. There. Lovely. Yeah, good. For over 3 decades, this British star has conquered stage and screen and was Oscar-nominated for her role as Vera Drake. Now she brings us a new Brit flick, Finding Your Feet. Please welcome, for the first time, Imelda Staunton! And this Oscar-winning star has thrilled on the big screen, most recently gripped us as O.J. Simpson, and now he's giving us the old razzle-dazzle in Chicago. Welcome back, Cuba Gooding Jr.
My ghetto braids when I got out here.
That's quite the reveal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Welcome back. Lovely to see you. Lovely to see will.i.am again. And Imelda, you've never been here before. What is that? Do you know? I thought that was an evening purse.
No.
No, it's what is that?
Soda bread. I made it today. I made it this morning, and it's Irish, and I'm parents Irish and Irish, and I just thought, right, I'm cutting you a quarter of that, and that's your gift.
Oh, that's so
kind of
you. Thank you very much. I'll just check that it is soda bread, because it looks like a giant drug deal otherwise. We smuggled it in plain sight.
Well, that brings up my gift.
Oh, look, you wrapped it in greaseproof and everything.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, look at that. That's
there it is. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, I feel like Mary Berry. It's got a nice bit of whatever that is.
Actually.
Yeah.
I did. It's my second one this week. I've never made it before, and it's my second one. I'm overexcited.
It's nice. A fine crumb. Is that what you say?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Loads of butter.
Yes.
That'd be gorgeous.
That's so kind of you.
Not at all.
That's really kind.
But £4.80.
no. And Cuba, we've got to say, since we last saw you, of course, the People versus O.J. Simpson. Congratulations on that.
That was good, man.
I know, it was so good. Amazing show.
Yeah.
And you did really well at the Golden Globes. You did really well at the Golden Globes. Here you all are, and afterwards you celebrated a little. Here you are enjoying a drink, and, well, one thing leads to another, a bit of dancing. And what...
He's back to do the break dance.
No. And what says great night out better than...
Kentucky Fried Chicken!
You know, that's the scariest round of applause I've ever had. Was that oh, or was that And you know, it's so funny. You know, you're backstage after an award show, and you're with friends in the VIP. Nobody has cameras because everybody's got security. So you're like doing goofy stuff back there.
So who took that picture with the chicken in the head?
Marlon Wayans. Marlon Wayans did it and Twittered it the next day. It was like, Cuba Gooding finger licking, Cuba finger Gooding Jr. good or something. Whooped his ass for 10 minutes. But it is what it is, you know?
Hey!
Life is about moderation, including moderation itself.
Oh. Jeez. Oh.
Yeah.
Drink your wine.
Yes.
Now, here's the thing. will.i.am, am I right in thinking there's a lot less will.i.am to love than previously?
Oh, yeah. So I lost, like, almost 20 pounds.
That... So I know.
Yeah.
But I didn't, you know, I'm surprised you lost that much because I don't remember you being that big.
No, I would just layer up. I would, like, wear a bunch of stuff and big old brim hats. Like, I would wear big brim hats. Like, I have a big brim hat to let me know that I'm a little plumpy. So the bigger the hat, the smaller the face.
Yeah. Okay.
So I stopped eating. So if it has a face, I don't taste it. If it got eyes, I don't eat it. So I'm just plant-based. No dairy, no milk. Just plants, just rabbits.
Rabbits?
Rabbit food.
Oh, I see. I was going to say, because the rabbits have eyes. I mean, they've got feet and everything.
No, I just eat like a rabbit.
Yeah, I'm a vegan apart from rabbits. Now, for your last solo single, Fire, you went to one of the great cultural British icons of to Weatherfield, to the cobbles of Weatherfield. Coronation Street, that's what it's actually called. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at that street going, I know it's got a famous name. What is it? It is Coronation Street. So you actually went there. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we've got... Is that you?
Yeah.
Okay, and now the Rover's Return looks quite different in your video.
See, I got a big brim hat. That brim hat tells me I'm like over 200 pounds.
and then you go outside and the cobbles are actually on fire. There we go. So fire, it comes from the voice, the fire thing.
Yeah, I was in a chair and then Tom Jones said, I said fire. And then Tom Jones with the Welsh accent said fire. I'm like, yo. So I wrote a song called Fire.
You might say something, Imelda, and then you'll be in a song.
Gosh.
Talking of songs, Cuba Gooding Jr., you are taking to the West End stage in Chicago,
Yes,
the musical.
Yes,
So this is
the Billy Flynn role. Yes,
I know, it's a
Billy
big
Flynn,
return
yes.
to the West End.
Yes,
It opens on the
yes.
26th of March at the Phoenix Theatre in London. So just remind people who Billy Flynn is in the musical.
Well, if you've seen the musical Chicago, which is in its 20-something year of production, touring productions around the UK, United States, I think even Japan, he plays a criminal defense attorney representing all of these women on death row who have bested their mates and been put there because of murder and other various charges. Yeah.
And how did this happen? How did you end up in it?
What the hell?
Well, no, you haven't done musicals before, have you?
No. I was on Broadway in 2013 with Miss Cicely Tyson in this production, Trip to Bountiful. And it was one of those things, because I started on stage, that once I stepped back on that stage, I remembered that this was truly home for me as an actor. And if you think of every role, I think that has probably been affected people the most in my career, from, you know, the last one, O.J. Simpson, to you know, Boys in the Hood, or radio. It's always these characters that I'm like, oh, you know, I'm scared to death to do. And here was another opportunity that scares the hell out of me, to do a musical. You know? Even though I come from a musical background, it's one of those things where, you know, it's what keeps me, you know, the intensity.
And how's it going? Will you be ready by the 26th of March?
I'm ready now, baby.
Oh, are you? What are Billy Flynn's big numbers? What are the big numbers?
I have 3 big songs. I have All I Care About Is Love.
Oh, beautiful.
Razzle Dazzle. And We Both Reach for the Gun.
Yeah. So, could you give us a little bit of one of them?
Give you
a little
what?
bit of which would you like?
I don't care about expensive things, cashmere coats, diamond rings don't mean a thing. All I care about is love. That's what I'm here for. And then I have this one big. There's this one big. Thank you.
Hard thing to do.
And then I have, towards the end of the song, what I worked on, even though I'm not really warmed up yet, don't voice judge me, but I sing. All I care about is love. But like I say, I got about a month to get that right.
Oh, I tell you.
And I got the other co-stars and the women and the singing and the dance. It's very sexy.
Yeah.
Very sexy. And when they said, you've done Broadway, come to the West End, I was like, the tears flew. Because this is started it with Shakespeare and everything. So I'm very excited to be here. I almost got flick-clipped.
No, it is lovely. And you were saying that you come from this musical background because your dad was in a band. They had like hits. And
That's right. The Main Ingredient.
Main Ingredient. I've got a picture of.
Yeah, that's in the middle.
That's your dad in the middle.
Cuba Settle, yeah.
And then your mom, she was in a band. What was the name of her band?
The Sweethearts.
And
it's an interesting story with the Sweethearts. Yeah, that group headlined at the Apollo Theater. I don't know if you know this, but she and the opening act for her was a little group called the Supremes with Diana Ross. My mom loves to tell the story. You know, when I got pregnant and our sister got pregnant, we had to disband the group, and then the Supremes took our spot. She loves to say. Might be true.
But beside you there is Imelda Staunton, who has done so many musicals, huge musicals. I saw you in Follies. You were amazing in Follies. But Gypsy, I mean, that's proper heavy lifting to do.
Yes,
that.
it is.
And there's a story where, you know, because you prepare and prepare and prepare, but there are some things you cannot prepare for. Was it when you went on one night?
I went. There was one night. So I did that show for 8 months, and
8 shows a week.
8 shows
6
a week.
days a week.
Yeah, 8 months. And my character, the showbiz mother from hell, and she, I start at the back of the auditorium, and the kids are on stage and they're starting the show, and I'm immortal, sing out, Louise. And I'd got dressed in the dressing room, dress, coat, hat, and also she has a little dog, a real dog, and I was standing at the back. And my coat was a bit uncomfortable, but I thought, oh, no, mind. So I sing, and as soon as I started speaking and walking down the aisle, I thought, there's something in my... There's something... Ah, that's the mouse. There's a mouse walking up my arm on the inside of my coat.
That was part of the play?
No. No. A mouse that obviously... As my coat was lying in the dressing room, it had crawled into the arm of my coat. Oh, lovely, lovely, snuggly, lovely. And then suddenly, shouty woman put the coat on, shouting, and the mouse... I started walking up my arm, so I'm still going, oh, sing out, Louise, come on, okay. Talky, 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 all the way up onto the stage, mousy up here, talky, 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 talky. I start singing, some people can get it, mousy, mousy. And then I started doing a lot of
Trying to get it to jump out?
If I do that, mouse will fly. Mouse didn't do that. Mouse... in there, and obviously, then at the end of the scene, I came off and said, "Did you? I had a mouse! I had a mouse!" And someone said, "I saw that mouse. It came down at the back and just ran off." And I love all the people in the company going, "Oh my God, what did you? I'd have stopped. You can't stop. You just keep going." So,
see, there's a lesson there, Cuba.
Yeah.
A lesson.
Check your trousers, mate.
Oh, there's so much to say.
And Will will.i.am, in terms of music, you kind of got into music. Was it kind of a form of escape? Was it your mom kind of encouraged you get involved in something?
Oh, no, music got into me, so I don't,
Okay.
We're gonna kick your ass.
No. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm 12 years old. My mom had a double cassette deck and a record player, and I would just take my favorite parts of the record and record it down here, and then loop it, and then take that over there, and then take the headphones and plug it into the microphone thing and sing over that. I don't know what told me to do that.
Wow.
But that's what I did.
And how old were you when you missed out on being in one of the most kind of iconic dance videos of all time?
2 times it was happening. They were filming Electric Boogaloo, breaking up the street from our house at, which is now Oscar De La Hoya's gym in East LA. And they come knocking on my door, Willie, they filming a movie up the street. Wrong accent. Willie, they're filming a movie up the street. Because I live in an all-Mexican neighborhood. They're filming a movie right there on Lorena, Willie. Like, tell your mom, Ma, can I go shoot a movie? What movie? They're shooting a movie. You ain't shooting no movie. I was like, Ma, come on, it's break dancing. You ain't got no business break no dancing. So I couldn't go. I was like, Ma, how come I can't be in it? She's like, well, you're going to sit your butt over here on this couch. It was summer break. Maybe I had D's on my report card or something. And then maybe, a year later, or the year before.
At a different time.
At a different time. They come knocking on my door, the same person. Debra. Michael Jackson's over there shooting Thriller in the alleyways.
Oh, no.
Because the projects is here, and by every projects are like factories.
Yeah.
So over by the alleys and the factories, Michael Jackson was shooting Thriller. And I was like, Ma, come on, please, Ma, can I go? Boy, you ain't going in no alley with no Michael Jackson.
I like your mother. Talking of musicals, we've got an adorable picture. I think, is this your first ever job at Imelda? Was it Guys and Dolls?
Huh? In London, it was,
Yes,
yeah.
here you are in Guys and Dolls.
Yes,
wow.
the short one.
No sound of your mouse.
Not from that angle.
But this was lovely because you found love in this show.
I sure did.
Yes.
Yes, I met my husband in that show. 1982, Guys and Dolls. I was the smallest, he was the tallest. And, yeah, so we got together then. So it was just fantastic.
Oh, well, yeah. and breaking all showbiz molds, still together.
Still together. Yes. Just had a lovely holiday, yeah.
Oh,
and a lot of people know him as, of course, Carson from Staunton.
Has that sort of blighted your life now?
Totally. No, not at all. No, not at all. It's been fantastic.
But when you went on holiday, presumably you can't get away from that.
Well, we thought we had, and we went to New Zealand last year for 5 weeks, and we were... Oh,
they're always here.
I'm coming back. And we were down in Oamaru, and people recognised us and said, could we take a picture of it? Yes, OK, we did that in the restaurant. And we made it to the Otago Times, the front page, but we were knocked off the main bit. We were down the bottom with, nice people from England are here. We were knocked off by triplets happy to go back to school. They took the big picture.
Education, yes, very important, yes, very important.
Yeah.
Now, Imelda Staunton has a new movie. It's called Finding Your Feet. It opens on the 23rd of February. And it is a comedy. It's got lots of funny things in it. It's got romance in it. But it's got so much heart. It's a really, yeah. Tell us about it.
Well, it's about... me? No. No, so a woman, her husband's retiring, so they're going to have a lovely retirement together, going to go on a cruise and all that, and she finds out that day that he's been playing around a little bit. So, yeah, can you imagine anything? And so she walks out and goes to live with her rather bohemian sister. My character is quite a sort of uptight sort of person, goes and lives with her sister, played brilliantly by Celia Imrie, who's rather bohemian. What? Just let go and enjoy yourself and all that. No, can't do that. So it's about her journey, then my character's journey into how you have a life after a failed marriage and how you have a midlife that should have some life and fun and maybe love, don't know, but just to be able to enjoy yourself and not think, well, I'm this age now. That's it. So I think I think it gives a lot of, I think the film and the story gives a lot of pleasure and a lot of, there's Tim Spall, who, you know, we were at drama school together actually, so we've known each other a long time, and Celia and I have known each other since 1978. So that made it quite easy to be friends and, you know, relationship with play sisters.
Yeah.
So that made it very easy, actually.
And you say so it's very nice, you're filming with friends, but then, of course, it's on location. Was it hard being away from home?
Well, the travel, which was for me 10 minutes. It's a nightmare, Graham. Absolute nightmare. So, I mean, I thought, oh, why am I doing this job? Because it's up the road! So that was absolutely glorious, because that doesn't happen. So
that must be the nicest thing in the world.
Well, I've never done it before. It was I couldn't believe it. So I was so overexcited just to be going up the road. So that
Usually you travel far.
Oh, travel far. Or, I mean, if you're doing theatre, you're just schlepping every day. Look forward to it.
Yeah. It's such good fun. But I have to say, though, presumably people recognise you and Joanna Lumley and people.
A little bit. I mean, there was a scene we were filming, Tim and I, at Leicester Square, just standing outside the station. So I'm here, but the camera's way, you know, at the back of the... over there, filming us. And then the theatre came out. I mean, the audience started coming out of the theatre. And a couple of mates, hi! Imelda! How you doing? Keep walking, I'm filming. Keep walking. What? I'm still walking. So yeah, that was one of the drawbacks of that.
Well, we've got a clip. This is you and your sister, played by Celia Imrie, and you're having a moment of catharsis.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
No wonder you stuck it out for so long. You must have barely seen one another. And what's with all this silverware? It's like a bloody shrine.
I used to spend hours polishing those. And I think... yes, from that tournament on, he was sleeping with her.
Well, he doesn't deserve any prizes for that.
Come on, your turn! No, I can't. Just do it!
Go on, Sandra. Give it to him.
How did that make you feel? Well, I was going to say better than sex, but it's been so long I've forgotten what it's like.
Very good. OK, well now, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. will.i.am, and you've done so many other things, entrepreneur, producer, singer, voice judge, everything. You are now a novelist, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, wow.
He's written a novel. Wizards and Robots, War. Do you see? It's clever. And, yes, tell the people about it.
So, Wizards and Robots is a collaboration with me and Brian David Johnson when we were both in the futurist department at Intel. And, you know, the whole premise of the futurist department is to, like, consult on how to bring new chipsets and technologies to popular culture. And so artificial intelligence to me was and still is exciting. So this book is about this race of robots that are being attacked in the year 3000 that need to find a way to help solve their problems. So whenever a species, an intelligent species, can't solve its problem, it prays to God. And so in this case, the God to a robot is human. And so, and the rest, you got to go check out the book. It's really good.
But and I should say it's out now. So you can buy it already, and it's What sort of age would you need to be?
So
to read this?
that's a young young adults novel.
Okay.
So we've been working on that for wow, going on 6 years now.
And a lot of it, I mean, obviously, there's fantasy in it, but the historical bits are based in
It's
fact,
all plausible science.
Yeah, and the future bits are all based in real science.
Even the past bits. So if you think of wizards, you've been in Harry Potter and stuff like that. Like you could sit there and say like that's fake. You could sit there and say Aladdin is fake with the genie in the bottle, or you could go out and buy, you know, Siri or Alexa right now. You're talking to something and say a magic word and out comes results. You know, 20 years ago that was fictitious and fake. That's real now. So, you know, a lot of the things that you see, like Shazam Rips, that's just a product away from it becoming real. Especially with artificial intelligence, virtual reality, augmented reality, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And now, in the book, there's time travel plays an important part. And so, where do you genuinely believe that time travel is possible?
Where do you think I just came from?
Well, I did wonder why you were late. You really need to upgrade that machine.
Anyone from the future is not late, they're early.
Okay. I guess it's how you look at it. Yeah.
No, that's real shit, though.
Can I get something a little harder?
That's real stuff.
And now, of course, because you love an opportunity, you know, you're always thinking of the next thing. Could this be a film? She has wizard form.
You're looking at
Am I the future? That's all I need to know.
Because now, you know, being in Harry Potter, has that just made you, like, children, or suddenly that's your fan base?
Yeah. Well, not fan base, I don't think. Yeah, so I have to sort of... So if you hadn't seen it, I'm quite not a very nice sort of person in Harry Potter, and so when I'm recognised, kids do get a bit frightened, so I have to reassure them. Or not. Or not, and I get more fun out of that. Yeah.
Those parents must appreciate it. Kind of like, oh, that shut them up.
Yeah, I do a lot of babysitting. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're in this showbiz world. You've worked with all these amazing people, and yet you don't seem that bothered by it. Like, when you were nominated for an Oscar, did you go?
Yes, but I reckon I was the only person in the limousine going to the Oscars with sandwiches. Oh, yeah. I just thought, hang on, apparently it's a really long journey to the Oscars. And so I said, right, we've got to have sandwiches. I couldn't make the bread, but I thought, OK. So there was myself and Jim and my daughter, and I actually had a mate with me, and I ordered these sandwiches, and we had them. I said, right, well, let's get the sandwiches out now, because it's taking ages and ages. So, and sandwiches, we're here. Sorry? and I was oh, ham in my teeth, check my teeth. So, but we weren't hungry, and I had a bag full of snacks. So, yeah, I went there and just, you know, I thought, oh, God, how English of me, just to go and think, what about the food? And my daughter was, you know, she was 11 at the time, so I said, I can't have her hungry. I can't have her sitting there starving. And,
Oh, she went with you?
Yeah, she did. It was lovely. It was absolutely great.
And I suppose one of the things, once it's somebody else's name called out, you then kind of rewrite history, and you kind of thought, oh, well, of course, I was never going to win. It was always going to be them. But a bit of you has to think, well, somebody's got to win it.
Yeah.
It might be me.
Yeah. Well, I sort of knew that it would... you don't literally know, well, as you know, you've got an Oscar, I'm not bitter.
But talk them down. Talk it down.
No,
yeah.
no, no.
Stupid Oscars.
Oh, for goodness sake. But, you know, my film was quite a contentious film. You know, I played an abortionist, so that was a difficult subject for a lot of people, funnily enough. So, and Hilary Swank got the Oscar that year for $1 Million Baby, which was brilliant. And then I did a film with her later that year. So, you know, I could look at her. And I stopped myself saying, "It should have been me." I stopped myself. So, you know, it's, you know, for all of us, it's about the work.
There's a real unspoken anger, though, that you are not talking about. And I will tell you 2 quick stories, if I may.
Oh, please.
Thank you very much. Who was the first one that said, I think Jack Nicholson said to me, he said, "Cubie," because I did a movie with a lot of actors that I like grew up like idolizing and then sharing the screen with them. You like, whatever they say, you hang on every word. He said, "Cubie, when you're nominated, you're hot until that award show. When you win, you're hot for 1 year." And that's it. That's it in Hollywood. Because the next year, you're replaced by the next winner, and then they get that kind of calling card.
Yeah.
But here's what happened with my standing ovation. Now, I listen, I'm not taking away from it. You know, my brother lost his shit out there. We know that. But you have a room like this room of audience here, and everybody here is nominated. So everybody, yes, the picture. Go ahead, you bad boy. Everybody here thinks they could win. So potentially we have a room full of winners.
Yeah.
I walk out, I lose my mind, everybody's like, "That's me!" Yes, in about 2 minutes. By the end of the show, you have a room full of losers. A small group of winners. Still happy. Everybody else is like, "You." All I want to do is, and the best film is, yes, great, let's get the fuck out of here. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's why you see everybody puts up with everything in that first half hour of the show. That third hour, people are hungry. Because they haven't eaten.
Not me.
That's right.
I might be a loser, but I'm full.
That's right.
Oh, dear. Right, it is time for music. This Brit-nominated singer burst onto the scene 4 years ago with his multi-platinum debut album. Now he's back singing Paradise. Please welcome George Ezra.
Lover, I'm in paradise whenever I'm with you. My mind, well, it's a paradise whenever I'm with you. Ride on. I will ride on down the road, I will find you, I will hold you, I'll be there. It's long. Well, it's a mighty long road, but I'll find you, I will hold you, and I'll be there. I know you heard it from those other boys, but this time it's real, it's something that I feel it. I know you heard it from those other boys, but this time it's real, it's something that I feel it. If it feels like paradise running through your bloody veins, you know it's love heading your way. If it feels like paradise running through your bloody veins, you know it's love heading your way. Time will it's a never-ending helter-skelter. We'll be out whatever the weather. My heart, my boom, boom heart is a beating, it's a thumping, and I'm alive. I know you heard it from those other boys, but this time it's real, it's something that I feel it. I know you heard it from those other boys, but this time it's real, it's something that I feel it. If it feels like paradise running through your bloody veins, you know it's love heading your way. If it feels like paradise running through your bloody veins, you know it's love heading your way. Paradise, go long, meet me there, go long. Paradise, go long, meet me there, go long.
Good job, you did it. You did it. Hi, really well, come in. This is will.i.am, Imelda, Cuba. That's George Ezra. Very good. Have a seat, do. Well done. Now, that is from the new album, Staying at Tomorrow's. You can pre-order it now. It's out on the 23rd of March. And you did. You stayed at Tomorrow's.
I did, yeah. I didn't know I was going to at first, really.
Who is Tamara? Where does she live? And is this her house? Because it looks really nice.
Tamara?
Tamara, yeah.
That's my first girlfriend's name.
Was she nice?
Yeah.
She sure was.
Yeah.
Kidding!
Where does your Tamara live?
Barcelona. So what happened was, I kind of realised I needed to write another record.
Yes, because the other one was 4 years ago.
And I've got a problem in the sense that I find it hard to be creative when I'm just on my sofa at home. So I have to take myself out of my comfort zone. And what I decided to do was go over to Barcelona for a month. I'm very fortunate.
Into a more comfortable zone.
No, but instead of getting a hotel room for the month or like renting an apartment, what I did was I found a stranger on the internet and agreed to go and live with them.
Aren't you like what on the Tinder or something?
Yeah.
Creative genius.
Oh, these young artists.
These young'uns.
I just assumed if it was really bad, I could always just duck out. If it was really terrible, if they were unhinged, I could always just take myself away.
Yeah.
Was she cute?
She was lovely, but I thought this was a great idea until the door was open, closing, open, closing. It was kind of like people were coming and going, her friends.
Well, that's Tamara.
And I was, yeah.
She's on all the sites.
If her name was Consuela.
Oh, Pete. Pete, definitely.
Staying at Pete's.
So, does she know that you've written this album?
She does. It was more like, so on a trip like that, I take notebooks and I just fill them up, and then those ramblings kind of inform the songs.
Yeah.
And halfway through the trip, I was kind of like, oh, this is proving to be a really important trip for what I'm doing. I think the record should be named something around this. The songs were all coming from this trip. And so I kind of said, hey, how would you feel about me maybe naming a record Staying at Tamara's? And there's not like a language barrier, but she wasn't as happy as I thought she might be. Yeah, kind of like, yeah. So, but she's very excited now. She's asked me to send her a copy of the records.
Oh, and obviously you're going to do all the, you know, the big summer festivals and everything, but you're doing your own tour.
Tour starts. Very good question, Graham.
Thank you. That's why they pay me.
I'm not actually...
By the way, I don't know.
No, I
It was a great question. It's a genuine one. I have no idea what the answer is. Someone will tell me, then I'll tell you. I'll ask you again, then you'll tell me.
I'll be there.
Yeah. You may be alone unless we tell people when it is. OK, it's end of March, beginning of April. So when does the tour start?
The tour is the end of March, beginning of April, and
Good to know. Good to know. They're excited. They want to go see you. Listen, it's great to have you back. Thank you very much. George Ezra, everybody. OK. That is nearly it, but we do have time for a quick visit to the big red chair. Who's there? Hello.
Hiya.
Hi, what's your name?
Lauren.
Lauren, lovely. And where do you live, Lauren?
I live in Bedfordshire.
In Bedfordshire, OK. And what do you do in Bedfordshire?
Well, I'm a student in Bournemouth, but that's home.
Yes, I understand. And what are you studying?
I'm studying public relations.
Public relations. Yeah. OK, very good. Off you go with the story, now.
So a few years ago, when my nan was still alive, she had a bit of a fall, and me and my dad went to see her in hospital. And when we did, we got there, and she was acting really confused, asking if I was there on a school trip, sort of thing, a bit clueless as to who we were. And we thought it might be a bit of concussion from the fall. We were sat there for about half an hour. And when we left, we were walking down the corridor, and they wheeled past my real nan on a bed. And it turned out we'd been talking to a very similar-looking stranger.
That's a great story. You can walk. Old people all look have to say. You've seen one granny, you've seen them all. Poor thing, diagnosed her with amnesia. There's something wrong with her, terrible. Do we have time for one more? Okay, one more, here we go. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, what's your name?
My name's Talia.
Talia, lovely. And what do you do, Talia?
I work in admin.
In what?
In administration.
Oh, I see. Are you from New Zealand?
I am.
Yes, I thought as much. Yay! Yay!
I'll be home soon.
I won't.
She's staying in admin. Have you moved here?
I have for a little while anyway.
Oh, okay, till they catch you. Off you go with your story.
Okay, so I was seeing this guy for a little while, and then fast forward a few weeks and I went to a family dinner. At the family dinner, I was hanging out with my cousin, and we were on Facebook, and while we were going through, we went through and I saw that we had a mutual friend who was this boy, and I said to her, "How do you know him?" And she was like, "Oh, it's my brother." And I was like, "What, like your bro or your brother?" And she was like, "No, like my brother." So, and I was like, "How does that work?" She was like, "Well, my biological father, it's his son or his stepson." And I was like, "So does that technically make him my cousin?" And she was like, "Yeah, I guess so. Why is that?" And I was like, "No reason."
I don't know how far New Zealand is, but it didn't warrant that journey. Sorry. Should we try one more?
Yeah.
I feel this could be the charm. This could be the charm. Okay, hello, sir.
Hello.
What's your name?
David.
David, lovely. And what do you do, David?
I work with the ambulance service.
Oh, are you like a driver or a paramedic or?
Both. Under a paramedic.
Whatever they need.
Yeah.
You'll do it. Yeah, you'll have a go. You know. Did that help? That kind of thing. Okay, off you go with the story, sir.
So when I was younger, I was a bit of a messer, and my mum was...
Sorry, masseur or messer?
Or a mess.
A messer.
A messer.
You might need
messer.
subtitles for me.
Oh, no, we won't, my friend.
No.
So my mum works in Clonakilty Hospital.
Oh, Clonakilty, West
Yeah,
Cork.
exactly, where I'm from. And she was working night duty one night, and myself and my mate, we decided we wanted Casey's chipper up in Cork. So I took the spare key from my old man's, car keys.
Yeah.
We went down, we took the car out, we drove up to Casey's, we had our chips, and my mum was none the wiser. So I dropped the car home, and she finished work, and she thought nothing of it. But a couple of weeks later, she got a speeding ticket in the post, and she'd no idea where it came from, and she was adamant it wasn't her because she was working that night, and the car was there the whole night. And I just kept it up. I don't know, pretended it was nothing. She ended up getting a fine and a load of speeding tickets and penalty points and all that. And I was, for years, I was trying to make it up to her, and I said, once I make it up to her, I can tell her that he did it. So I got her tickets for the Graham Norton show, and there you go, Mum.
Is she here?
Yeah, she's there.
I'll ask your mother. Should we flip him?
Yeah, do
You
it.
know, this was a fantastic... he's forgiven.
You're forgiven. You can walk. Well done. Well done. We're bringing families together. Well done, everyone. If you'd like to join us on the show and have a go on the red chair, you can contact us via our website at this very address. That is it for tonight. Please say thank you to my guests, George Ezra, will.i.am, imelda, staunton, and Mr. Cuba Jr. Join me next week with breakout star Keala Settle, comedian Rob Beckett, Will and Grace, Eric McCormack and Debra Messing, and Oscar nominee Saoirse Ronan. I'll see you then. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
It's all about being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Next on BBC One with BBC Three's new comedy, Witless.